All right, today we're going to break down a really simple, but honestly, a super powerful idea. It's all about how our inner world works, specifically, the way our emotions, our thoughts, and our intentions all play together. So let me ask you something. You ever have one of those days, or maybe weeks, where you feel like you are pushing a giant boulder uphill? You're giving it everything you've got, but you're just not getting anywhere. It's so frustrating, right? Well, it turns out that feeling, that stuck in the mud feeling, usually has a very specific cause inside of us. And there's a name for this. It's what you could call a downward spiral. This is what happens when all those forces inside you are basically at war with each other. Instead of moving you forward, you're just creating a whole lot of internal friction. Now, this spiral isn't just random, it's a chain reaction, and it's pretty predictable. It almost always kicks off with some kind of negative emotion. Maybe it's anxiety or frustration or just a little bit of self-doubt. That feeling then unleashes a storm of unwanted thoughts. And when your mind is that cloudy, your intention, your actual will to do something, it just loses all its juice. The end result of all this, any action you take just feels heavy. It feels like a struggle. And the outcomes are so frustrating because really, you're fighting yourself every single step of the way. Okay, so to actually fix this, we need to understand the pieces of the puzzle. We're really just talking about three core forces that make up your internal state. Think of it like this. It's a great analogy. Your emotion, that's your energy. It's the fuel in your tank. Your thoughts, they provide the direction. That's your steering wheel, telling all that energy exactly where to go. And finally, you've got your intention. That's the engine, the driving force that actually gets the whole car moving. So when you put it all together, it's pretty clear what happens, right? If your fuel is contaminated with negative emotion, your steering is all over the place because of chaotic thoughts, and your engine is sputtering with a weak intention, well, you're just not going to get where you want to go. The only possible outcome is that feeling we started with: exhaustion, confusion, and ultimately, failure. But, and this is the important part, it absolutely does not have to be this way. We can totally shift this dynamic. We can go from a state of resistance to a state of creation. And the entire key, is alignment. So what happens when we just consciously decide to flip this whole script on its head? I mean, what if we decided to start from a totally different place? Just imagine this. Instead of starting with negativity, you start with a calm, powerful emotion, something like confidence or even just gratitude. From that solid foundation, your thoughts just naturally become clear and focused. And with that calm energy and a clear direction, bam, your intention unlocks. It becomes this pure, powerful force moving you forward. And this slide, right here, this is the whole thing in a nutshell. It's so clear. On the one side, you've got that recipe for misery. Negative emotion leads to scattered thoughts, which leads to a powerless intention, and it all ends in exhaustion and failure. But on the other side, you have the path to creation. A calm emotion creates clear thoughts, which unlocks your intention, and that leads you directly into a state of flow. And that brings us to the real goal here. The whole point of alignment is to shift out of that grinding, painful effort and into a state of effortless flow. This is where the magic really happens. The source material just says it perfectly. Getting these three forces aligned, that is the exact moment everything begins to shift. That's the pivot point where that feeling of pushing a boulder uphill suddenly turns into the feeling of being carried by a river. And this really gets to the heart of it. Instead of fighting against yourself, you feel like life or energy is moving through you. You become a channel for action, not a dam holding it back. So, now that we've laid out this framework, let's bring it home. Let's turn this into a moment of real, personal clarity for you. So I want you to just pause with me for a second. Take a deep breath and just honestly check in with yourself right here, right now. And ask yourself this one simple but really powerful question. Of these three core forces, your energy, your direction, or your engine, which one feels the weakest in you today? Is it your emotion, your thought, or your intention? Because just identifying that one weak link, that is the first and most powerful step you can take to bring everything back into alignment.